had this big smile, like, oh, it's finna happen. It's
you
time
already
to
know.
start. Yeah,
Yes.
it's time to start this process. And so, of course, they induced my labor because, it wasn't fully erupted, the water bag. And so I must say, February 1st, 2010, that's when I had a healthy 4 pounds, 14-ounce baby girl, almost 5 pounds at 6 months.
Wow.
And so she was healthy. Everything was fully developed. Only thing, she was jaunted. And so that's my miracle child. This is my miracle child, Nevaeh.
Look at God.
Yeah, so I'm just blessed that God protected her even through my situation.
Yes.
Because I was pregnant when I was diagnosed.
Wow.
And the cancer had already spread in my body, going downwards. So it was on the way. You know what I'm saying? So God protected her and let it stop
Get
in
her
my
out of
neck.
there.
Yep.
Yes.
And he protected her. So this is my miracle child. Her middle name is Faith.
I see.
And so I totally trusted
beautiful.
and believed in God that he, blessed me to have a child. And I say this all the time. Yes, I know I wasn't married when I was pregnant, when I got pregnant.
Right.
But God has his way of doing things.
Yes,
if I was never pregnant, I would have never known I had cancer. And so I just want to thank God because people just take things for granted. And I just want to say, no, I don't regret what I did to get pregnant because look what I have. I have a beautiful baby girl.
She is beautiful.
And she helped me survive cancer. And so after having her, February 17th, I went to a 23-and-a-half-hour surgery.
Oh, my goodness.
Where my neck was cut open from my ear to the other ear.
I saw the pictures.
My face was lifted off of my face. So imagine like the skin being removed from your face to take out my lower right mandible, teeth, gum, tissue, bone, anything that the cancer had touched. It had to be removed.
Wow.
And at the same time that my cancer was being removed, reconstructive doctors was at my leg to break my leg, to reconstruct my face from my leg bone. So they cut my leg, took out my bone, skin, tissue, and vein from my right leg to recreate my face.
Wow.
Now, that in itself says a whole lot. That God is good,
He was with you.
He was with me
Yes,
all the
Jesus.
way, my God. And when I tell my story, it's so unbelievable to people. That's you. You went through that? That you don't look like you went through anything.
I know. And I saw the pictures, and I was like, oh, my goodness. None but God.
Nobody but God.
Nobody.
And it was hard. I had to go through 38 rounds of radiation therapy, 2 rounds of chemotherapy. Lost my hair, sense of smell, sense of taste, weight. Sometimes I lost my mind because, friends and sisters that claim I'm your sister and I'm your friend, I'm going to be there no matter what. And then when you go through a crisis like this, is who can you turn to?
You find out.
And God had to help me believe, I'm here. You see, they leave you. I'm going to be the same God today, yesterday, and forevermore.
Amen.
And he had to help me to realize your friends and the people that's in your life at this time is only there for a season. And when that season is up in your life, you got to let them go. How he going to elevate you if you're going to keep on holding on to the past,
Message, yes.
And so I had to snap back, like, okay, Sarah, listen now. He said let them go, you got to let them go. And trust me, when I let those people go, I elevated. My story became famous on Facebook. I've been traveling the world to tell people my story. I got a chance to go on the Steve Harvey show and meet him, and a lot of great things has been happening. I'm writing my book entitled Cancer Survivor Through Faith, hopefully coming out next year. So be looking out.
I will be.
And so I'm just grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be able to speak, tell my testimony to people, to encourage them, and to put some faith that God is still working miracles today.
Amen.
And so I just want to say thank you for letting me tell my story.
You are so welcome. I was at church, and one of the sisters at church, she was like, have you heard of Sarah Anderson? I'm like, no. She was like, look her up on Facebook. And I'm like, okay. And I looked up, I was like, she got too many friends for me. I can't even get I can't even get on her friend page. And she was like, I said, okay, I'll send her an inbox then.
Yeah.
So, and you responded, and then,
I did.
and I was at church the other day, and she was like, so have you talked to Sarah? When's Sarah going to be on the show? I was like, Sarah going to be on the show Tuesday. She was like, what?
Yeah.
It was so funny. So I thank God for just the people that he put around me
Yes.
to put me in touch with people that have incredible stories like yours.
Thank you.
I mean, you are just a walking miracle.
Thank
The
you.
both of you are a walking miracle.
Thank
And
you.
it just brings hope to other people who are going through that, even with a stage 4 diagnosis, that it's not over until God says
That's
over.
right.
And I like how the way that you listened to God, and then you was able to recognize his voice when he was telling you to do what you had to do.
Yes.
And you obeyed.
I did.
And it's nice to be inside of God's will and
It
reap
is.
his benefits.
Yes.
Because they none like man benefits.
Yes.
He don't take them back.
That's right.
They don't have conditions.
That's right.
And you're just amazing
Excuse me.
for to be. You say you're 24.
24 now.
24.
I was 18 when I was diagnosed.
You have been through so much. I mean, at 18, I could, like you said, you was worried about prom, you was worried about
Yes,
graduating,
college.
and it's like cancer. Okay, ain't got time for that. Okay,
Right.
what dress are we
What's
wearing?
next?
How my shoes gonna look?
Right.
Yeah, you
that's
know.
what I was worried about.
But I mean, you were a warrior. Even in that, you heard the diagnosis, but it's like, okay, I still have other stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you just didn't stop everything that you was doing,
Yeah.
and God put it on your teacher's hearts to say, you know what? This is the
Good.
last
Go
thing you
take
should be
care.
worried about.
Exactly. 'Cause
You
that's
know.
what I was worried about.
Yes.
I was always in school getting straight A's in high school, A's and B's. I even got a chance to go to Ghana, West
I saw
Africa
that. I saw
with
that.
Jesse Jackson.
Yes.
So, school, I needed to just reach a goal. Be my mom's first child to graduate from 8th grade, graduate from high school. I'm graduating from college next year to be a high
good
school
for
math
you.
teacher.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was still going to school while I was going through treatment. I was online going to school. It's like I had to get it done. I have to get it done. So still working on it. I'm still in college to get my bachelor's degree in education, secondary education.
Wow.
And so I'm happy to be alive.
You're just
and
a baby.
to live.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You were just a baby. Can you kind of like break down like some of the, I know you said you was in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know some of the other symptoms that come along with the head and neck cancer other than just
Yes.
the pain and like a toothache? Or?
Yeah, so I had some uncomfortable situations where I had to have numerous feeding tubes.
Oh, wow.
And so I had one called the NG tube, which is the tube that goes through the nose. And with that tube, it's like I felt miserable. I kept pulling them out and taking them out because, it dangles in the throat and you keep gagging. And of course you're going to feel even sick than what you are. And so I changed that feeding tube, and it's a tube that goes through the stomach. I'm not sure. It's the gastro tube or something. I'm not sure the name. But I had the tube that goes in the belly. And I had that tube almost 8 months to a year. So imagine
Wow.
not being able to eat through your mouth for a year. I was devastated. You see on my Facebook, I post food every day. I cook soul food every day, so I was, oh my God. And I had one particular moment where my family from Mississippi came up. And,
they
to
cook.
see me. Oh my goodness, they came to see me. And they threw a fish fry and salad and
Oh, my
everything.
goodness.
I freaked, y'all.
Oh,
I was in the living room. Everybody gotta stop eating now because I can't eat or get out. I started freaking out. But, it was just a hunger pain. And it was not because I was restricted from eating. I wanted to do things I used to do.
Mm.
And when that's taken from you and things ain't the same no more, it's like you have to readjust to certain things. And that was my issue. I didn't want to readjust to certain things. And then I had a point where all my teeth had to be removed.
I saw that, yes.
Every single tooth had to be removed because of radiation treatment. Burned out my saliva glands. I don't have saliva. So every day I would have infections. Every other day. Infections and toothaches. And I was tired of getting poked with needles and being numb and going home, can't eat still.
Wow.
And so the decision was made to just remove all the teeth. Just take them all out. I don't care. Whatever is going to stop me from having pain right now, take it out. And my doctors, they was just so amazed working with me, which was surprising to me. It was just like, I'm just a little girl, you know.
Just a baby.
I just wanted it to be over, like, just whatever you need to do. And that alone, I know I said I wanted to do it, but I didn't know what comes after.
Yes.
When I did the removal of the teeth and how long it would take. I went through something called a dental depression, where I didn't want to go out because I had dentures. I just had upper
you had
dentures.
to wait. Okay.
So I had to wait for my implants to heal in order to get the teeth made to go on the implants.
How long did it take? About 6 months?
6 months, yep. It took about 6 months. And soon after the 6 months was over, I mean, the process was started, you know, being fitted for your new teeth and placing the dentures away where it can fit until the implants were made. And, you know, it was a long process, but I'll say it was worth it. It was worth it. Yes. And I'm grateful that God took me through it. And I never asked God, why me?
I was going to ask you, did you have a why me moment?
No, I never. And the reason why is because God had showed me a dream about what was going to happen to me before it actually happened. And I told my mom, and I said, Mom, I had a dream that the stuff that was in my mouth was cancer. And, you know, of course, she went out, oh, don't say that, don't think like that, because don't, right. So, you know, when you speak things in the air and it happens, and I was like, oh, my bad, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. But then a couple of months later, it's like, it's like the dream is coming true. It's happening. And then I was like, I was already prepared. I was already ready. So I didn't ask God why. Instead of saying, well, I was like, thank you for using me as a vessel to be an example. Right. Because it's the reason I'm going through this. It's not for me. And it's from somebody else. And I come to realize that today, that what I went through is for a whole lot of other people.
Exactly.
I chose it because you was strong enough. You was willing to take the hit.
And they say he gives his strongest battle, not to the weakest person, but he doesn't give it to the strongest person. He give it to the weakest person, but he makes you strong. Because you think you're weak, but you're actually not. Yep. And so he gives you everything you need and equips you with what you need to get through that. And you come out and you turn back around and you look behind you and be like, wow, that was me.
Yes.
You know, just imagine you sitting there with your face being lifted and taking. I mean,
I have the pictures. Like once we
I
get
saw
through,
the pictures.
No,
I didn't want to post them. I was like, I
know.
Oh,
and it's gonna be in my book. That's why I never put it out.
Okay,
and it's only a few people I've shown because I'm gonna have a pictorial in my book.
Oh wow!
To show people that this is what I had to endure for God to use me to bless you and to bless people that's not even going through cancer.
Right.
People that may be having something like alopecia, maybe lost their hair, and may be feeling uncomfortable with a bald head.
Right.
I didn't wear wigs. I didn't want to wear wigs. I didn't want to put nothing. If I'm going to go through it, y'all will see what I'm going through.
I wore my wig.
And I didn't wear my wig.
I didn't wear them in the house, but I wore my wig.
No, you could get me to put a wig on.
Oh, my goodness. I saw something on Facebook. You was like, I'm going to wear my hair. And you wore it. You was like, this is me.
Did.
This is me.
Yes.
And I commend you because you had more courage than me. I was like, I don't want nobody to see. I didn't even want my kids to see me with a bald head. Like, I hid my hair from my kids for a while. And until I couldn't hide it anymore. You know, I wore she was with me. I didn't feel comfortable. It took me a while to accept what I was going through and what God was taking me through. And like you, he showed me myself as I was in it, how I was going to look after.
Yes.
And once I saw that, I knew I was going to be okay. And it was like, I got this. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I saw something on Facebook that you put on Facebook. I'm going to try and find it.
Okay.
And I looked at it and I read it and I was like, wow, you don't seem like a 24-year-old.
I get that a lot.
But let me see if I can find this. Okay. This was actually March the 11th of this year.
Okay.
And it says, I was designed to live on purpose. It was on purpose God allowed me to get sick. It was on purpose God healed me. It was on purpose God designed me with purpose. What is purpose? P is person. U is understanding. R is real. P is power. O is obedience. S is sacrifice and have expectations. Were you designed on purpose with purpose?
Yes.
Where did that come from?
You know, when I'm sitting in my room And the enemy tries to attack all the time. And I was having thoughts of, why am I here? Why did you save me? Was it on purpose that you put this in my life? Was it the devil, or was it really God? Because we blame it on the devil all the time. Devil for so many things and give him so many credits for things that he don't even, have no